Let's talk about the right tools. This is important, and we'll talk about the whole setup that you should have. So there's two tools, right? There's QuickBooks Online and Xero. Those are bookkeeping softwares. You should use QuickBooks Online because we're in 2023 right now, and not QuickBooks Desktop unless you're having someone actually go into your office. Both of them are pretty cheap. They're like $50 a month, and there are tools out there that are cheaper. There's GoDaddy bookkeeping and Wave and whatever. They're all cheap and free for a reason. You're going to outgrow them at some point, and you're going to end up in a situation where you have to move all your data over to QuickBooks Online or Xero. So just use those two from the beginning. Other reasons to use them is most bookkeepers use these two tools. If you're using some small tool, it's going to be very hard if you need to replace your bookkeeper in the future to find a bookkeeper that also is familiar with that tool. There's also tools out there like Final Loop, Bench that use their own software that no one else in the world uses. And you're pretty much trapped. If you use their software, it's going to be an absolute pain that they raise price on you if you're not happy with their service. To move them to something else is going to be a big, expensive project. You want to use a tool that a lot of people use. Then off of that, you want to own your own QuickBooks Online and Xero. Don't let your bookkeeper be the owner. Don't let your CPA be the owner. Always own your own books. I can't tell you how many horror stories I've heard of a CPA disappearing and they were the owner of your books and you're never getting that information back and you're going to have to pay to redo all of it or just not have it. So make sure you're the owner of those books. From there, if you're an e-commerce seller, which I know you guys are, you need a connecting tool. We've actually added Link My Books to this list, but A2X and Link My Books are the two softwares. They connect directly to the marketplaces. They help pull in refunds, returns, fees, break them down for you nice and easy. If you're using a bookkeeper that is doing it all manually or doing it by the sales reports, that's a big red flag that they don't know e-commerce bookkeeping. Make sure that they're using the connecting tools. And with QuickBooks and Xero, to go back a step, lost my train of thought there. I'll think a bit. I'll keep going. I'll come back to that. So you got QuickBooks Online and Xero. You got the connecting tool, A2X, and Link My Books. And then it goes into your bank accounts and your credit cards. Hopefully, you know that you should not be intermingling personal and business. That's a big no-no. You can get into a lot of trouble and it opens you up for liability. There's absolutely no point in having an LLC if you're going to commingle personal and business, because if you ever get sued, it broke the corporate seal and they can come after you personally anyway. So if you are intermingling personal and business, we're at the end of the year. Now's a great time to stop doing that. January 2024 going forward, split it up. Have a business checking account, business credit card. You can have a situation legally where, let's say you have a personal business account, but it's only being used for business. Well, you're not going to get in trouble for doing that. There's a pretty good reason not to do that. One, it can open you up for liability, but two, you're not going to be able to give view-only access to your bookkeepers. And every single month, you're going to have to download statements and pass them to your bookkeeper. And it's going to waste both of your time. It's going to be manual work for your bookkeeper. They're going to charge you more. Use a business credit card, business bank account. Make sure that your bank that you're using allows view-only access for your bookkeeper so you don't have to download statements every single month. So that should be the correct setup. QuickBooks Online or Xero, A2X, business checking, business bank account. I remember what I was going to say before. People have different pros and cons. They like Xero, they like QuickBooks, whatever. The real answer is whichever one your bookkeeper has more experience with, that's the one that you should be using.